What's going on, everybody? It is officially hoodie season again, along with a bushy beard. I'm Pete Thorpe with the State Line Group of Real Broker, and today we're going to break down what the market has been doing in Baltimore County, Hartford County, and York County up in Pennsylvania, because we cover all those areas. So, let's dive right into it. In Baltimore County, last week, or rather right now, we've got 74 properties are listed as coming soon. 168 properties in the last week hit the market. We did have a big jump in price decreases. So 108 properties had a price decrease. So it looks like the gravy train for sellers may be slowing down just a little bit. However, there were 150 closed transactions last week. So a lot of properties still closed. A couple expired or were canceled, so not very many. Pretty standard for right about now. In Hartford County, there's only 27 properties coming soon. There's 69 that are back, or rather active. And that went pending, only 56. So quite a dip in pending contracts. And for close, we had 44. Hartford County has been slower than pretty much everywhere else as of late. Not sure why, but it just is. Up in York, there's only 19 coming soons, and 118 new ones came on the market. Now, 125 did go under contract, so York is still doing fairly well, and there were 105 that closed. So, all in all, market is still moving, but it is moving away from the seller's market, as I'm sure most of you have known. But if a property is still priced correctly and doesn't need a ton of work, it is still getting multiple offers right now, no matter where it is. So as long as you position it properly, market it properly, you're still in a decent spot as a seller. Obviously, with the rates being a bit higher, buyers are having a bit more of a challenge, and I want to show you something specifically about that today. So as we go ahead and get right into that, let's get a sip of the coffee. So we got our go juice. Best that ever, they say. All right. So what I've got here for you is a chart, right? We've got today's interest rates, which you can see right up here. It says 7.66 for conventional, 7.12 for FHA. Because of everything going on in overseas right now, that did have an impact on rates, which ticked them down a little bit. They had been pressing up, but they dipped just a little bit. But what I wanted to show you were what it would cost to purchase the median single family home right now in Baltimore, Hartford, and York County, and what it would take with a conventional loan or an FHA loan. And the conventional loan is assuming you're putting 20% down. You can do less. There's multiple programs. Also, please take into account these numbers are estimates generated by the MLS. So they don't take into account what your mortgage insurance would be. And if you have any kind of condo fees or HOA fees, because this is just single family home. HOA might happen, condo obviously is not, because you're not a condo. But I want to still give you those options. So you can see here in Baltimore County, the median purchase price, that means half were above and half were below, was $352. Hartford County was $420, and York was $288. Now, in order, including all of your closing costs with conventional loan with 20% down, just over $81,000 in Baltimore County, $95,000 in Hartford, almost $96,000, and $72,600 in York if you're going conventional. And you can see the difference here in the taxes, right? $238,000, $254,000, and $449,000. But there's a big spread in your principal and interest, and that is where kind of that flip-flop happens. Where at the end of the day, I know people complain about taxes up in York, but you have a lower income tax rate, and your principal and interest payment is lower, so it ends up really being a wash. So it's more about where you want to live, more so than caring as much about the taxes. Although if you're retiring, currently they don't tax pensions in PA. They do in Maryland, which is why a lot of people leave Maryland. If you're using a FHA loan now, same purchase prices across the board, you can see your total closing costs go down considerably because you're only putting 3.5% down versus 20% down. So $23,000 and change in Baltimore County, $27,000 in Hartford at that median price point, and $23,914 up in York. So obviously, you still do need a chunk of change to get your transaction closed, and your payments are all across the board a good bit over $2,000, but renting a property is running $2,000 plus as well. And keep in mind, these are single family homes, so it's not like it's an apartment or anything along those lines. So just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update about what numbers look like in the market currently. Stay tuned next week, because what I'm going to do is find 3 as close to similar properties as I can in each of these areas. So what I'm going to be looking for is a 4-bedroom, 2,000 square foot plus house, which is kind of that move up home for a lot of folks. And I'll see if I can also find a townhouse that's a little bit smaller, maybe a 3-bedroom townhouse. and compare the difference between Baltimore County, Hartford County, and York, and break down what the payments would look like depending on where you moved and what you get for that money. So we're going to try and go on the hunt and find 3 relatively identical, as close as we can get, homes in those markets that are typical of the markets at that median price point, and we'll break those numbers down for you next week. So make sure you like and subscribe and tune in next week for more info.